Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be covering a very important topic. Everything you absolutely need to know before buying a used Toyota Prius. If you want to save on fuel, drive an eco-friendly vehicle, and protect your wallet in the long run, the Prius can be an excellent choice. However, if you buy the wrong used Prius, it could lead to unexpected expenses and serious headaches. In this video, I'll walk you through everything a Prius buyer needs to know, from the hybrid system to paint inspection, from damage history checks to the test drive, step by step. If you're ready, let's get started. Part 1. Why a used Prius? Why is the Prius so popular? The Toyota Prius has proudly held the title of the world's best-selling hybrid vehicle for decades. There are several key reasons for this. Fuel efficiency. With an average fuel consumption of 4 to 5 liters per 100 kilometers in city driving, the Prius offers a significant advantage, especially in cities with heavy traffic. In a time when gas prices have skyrocketed, this figure is extremely appealing. Reliability. Toyota is the benchmark brand in the automotive world when it comes to reliability. The Prius carries on this legacy. A well-maintained Prius can operate trouble-free for over 300,000 or even 400,000 kilometers. Low emissions. It is both environmentally friendly and can be used for longer periods in urban low-emission zones. Resale value. The Prius depreciates more slowly compared to some other vehicles. This means you can sell it for a better price in the future. But be careful, there may be some pitfalls waiting for you in the used Prius market. Especially the hybrid battery, high-voltage system, and software issues. It has a much more complex technical structure compared to a classic internal combustion engine. Therefore, a detailed inspection before purchase is essential. Part 2. Which generation of Prius? A brief history. You'll encounter different generations of Prius models in the used car market. Each generation has its own strengths and weaknesses. Pay close attention to these. First generation, 1997 to 2003, NHW10/NHW11. This generation is virtually non-existent in some countries. There may be some imported from Japan, but finding parts is extremely difficult. Not recommended. Second generation, 2004 to 2009, NHW20. This is the period when the Prius began to gain widespread popularity. It stands out for its large trunk, aerodynamic design, and strong battery performance. However, vehicles from this era are now 15 to 20 years old, so battery health is of critical importance. Strengths. A simple and proven hybrid system. Relatively easy to find parts. Weaknesses. Aged batteries. Interior plastics may be worn out. Poor sound insulation. Third generation, 2010 to 2015, ZVW30. This generation is the most common used Prius. It features a more advanced hybrid system, better aerodynamics, and the ability to drive short distances entirely on electric power in EUV mode. Strengths. Good balance, age/price/reliability. Strong EV mode. Abundance of parts and service options. Weaknesses. Battery cell degradation may have begun in some units. Limited rear visibility. Fourth generation, 2016 to 2022, ZVW50/ZVW51. Completely redesigned platform, sportier design, TNGA architecture. Offers lower fuel consumption and better driving dynamics. Strengths. Modern design and equipment options. A more efficient and reliable engine. Advanced safety systems. Weaknesses. Higher price. Heating system issues in some models. Fifth generation, 2023 to the present. PHEV focused. There are still very few used models available in the second-hand market in many countries. Recommendation. Depending on your budget, a third or fourth generation Prius is the most sensible choice for a used car. Part 3. Preparations before purchasing. Budget planning. Consider not just the vehicle price, but also these costs. Inspection and appraisal fee, authorized service center or independent expert. Insurance, comprehensive plus liability. Potential maintenance costs, filters, brake pads, tires. Potential battery cell replacement cost. License plate, notary, and registration fees. Do your research. Research the market value of the model you're considering on popular platforms. Find out what prices vehicles of similar age, mileage, and trim levels are selling for. If the seller's price is significantly below market value, this could be a red flag. Contact an authorized Toyota service center in advance. Obtain the vehicle's license plate, or VIN, in advance so you can check its service history. Authorized Toyota service centers can access the maintenance history of vehicles registered in their systems. Part 4. Body and exterior. Inspection. Regardless of whether the vehicle is a hybrid or not, inspecting the exterior body is the first step you should take with any used car. Paint thickness measurement. Be sure to use a paint thickness gauge. These devices are available both through professional inspection services and on platforms like Amazon, and they are quite affordable. Reference values. Factory paint is typically between 100 to 160 microns. Over 200 microns. This indicates that paint has been applied in that area. 400 to 500 microns. Putty, filler, may have been applied. Close to 0. Paint applied directly to the metal, an indication of significant past damage. Measure all the car's panels: front hood, 2 front fenders, 2 front doors, 2 rear doors, 2 rear fenders, trunk lid, roof. Visual inspections. Are the weather strips along the door edges even? Are the gaps between the panels, sanding gaps, even and properly aligned? Are the headlights and taillights original, or have they been replaced? Are there any cracks or chips in the corners of the windows? Is there any rust or bending from impact under the floor? Under the hood. When you open the hood, check the following. The paint on the hood hinges. Has it been repainted, or are there signs of careful removal? Is the strut tower area of the chassis intact, or is there any denting? Is the radiator or air conditioning condenser dented? Part 5. Hybrid system and battery inspection, the most critical step. This section is the most critical part of buying a Prius. The hybrid battery is the heart of the Prius. A faulty battery means significant additional costs. What is a hybrid battery? The hybrid battery used in the Toyota Prius, high voltage battery /HV battery, is a nickel metal hydride, NIMH, or for 4th generation and later models. Lithium-ion pack consisting of multiple cells. These cells can lose their capacity over time. Symptoms: a yellow or red warning light on the dashboard, especially a hybrid system warning. Sudden increase in fuel consumption. Loss of power, especially when climbing hills. The battery charging and discharging very quickly. Battery health measurement via OBD2. You can measure the voltage balance of each battery cell using an OBD2 scan tool, especially models that support Toyota/Lexus hybrid systems, or a specialized app like Dr. Prius. What you can do with the Dr. Prius app. View the voltage of each cell. Detect cell imbalances. Get the battery's overall health score. Check if the cooling fan is running. Criteria for a healthy battery. All cells should show voltage values close to each other. Difference max: 0.2 to 0.3 volts. Large voltage differences indicate cell failure or degradation. Battery fan check. Prius models are equipped with a fan that cools the battery. Proper operation of this fan is critical for battery life. Check to see if you can hear the fan running. If the fan is running slowly or not at all, the battery may be overheating and could be wearing out prematurely. Location: in the 3rd generation Prius, the battery fan is located on the right side of the rear seats. This area must be clean and unobstructed. Engine control unit, ECU. Scan the vehicle for error codes, DTC, diagnostic trouble codes. Error codes specific to the hybrid system include P3000 series HV battery system issues, P0A0F, P0A80, battery performance issues. P0AA6, high voltage insulation fault. If you see any of these codes, I recommend reconsidering the purchase. Part 6, engine and mechanical inspection. Engine oil, pull out the dipstick to check the oil's color and consistency. Black, dark, and dirty. Maintenance has been neglected. Milky, creamy color. Coolant mixed with oil, a sign of a serious engine problem. Foam or mayonnaise-like appearance under the oil cap. Same issue. Coolant. Check the color of the coolant in the expansion tank. It should be clear, green, or red. Muddy, brown, or dirty coolant may indicate a problem with the water pump or cylinder head gasket. Engine noise. Start the engine when it's cold. At startup, if you hear a metallic clatter, there is an issue with the pushrod or valve mechanism. If you notice an irregular idle, there is a problem with the fuel injectors or the ignition system. If you hear noises that disappear as the engine warms up, this is usually not a problem. It's normal thermal expansion. Transmission, CVT/E CVT. The Prius features an electronic CVT system composed of a planetary gear set instead of a conventional transmission. During the test drive, is there any jerking when shifting gears? Is the acceleration smooth? Is there any strange humming or vibration? Braking system. The Prius has a regenerative braking system, meaning the battery charges while braking. This system helps extend the life of the brake pads. However, check the following. Is the brake disc rusted? This is common in vehicles that haven't been used for a long time. Is there any unusual resistance or softness when first pressing the brake pedal? Brake fluid color and level. Part 7. Interior inspection. Dashboard. Are any warning lights on in the vehicle? Things to pay special attention to. Yellow hybrid system warning, exclamation mark or vehicle icon. Red exclamation mark, critical system failure, traction control /VSC warning, ABS warning. Touchscreen and multimedia. Is the screen working properly, or is it dim or scratched? Is the climate control system working properly with all functions? Is the camera system, rear view, working? Is the audio system working? Air conditioning. Compressor, EV air conditioning. The air conditioning compressor in the Prius is an electric compressor that can operate even when the engine is off, in EV mode. This is a system different from that of conventional vehicles. Turn on the air conditioning during the test drive. Is the cooling effective? Is the compressor noise normal? Replacing this compressor can be quite expensive. Seats and upholstery. Are there any tears, stains, or wear on the seat fabric or leather surfaces? Do the seat mechanisms, especially the power seats, work? Is the battery fan intake next to the rear seats clogged or dirty? Ceiling and sunroof. Is there any sagging or moisture stains on the headliner? If there is a sunroof, does it open and close? Is it leaking water? Trunk and floor mat. Lift the carpet on the trunk floor. Is there any moisture or rust underneath? This could be a sign of water leakage from both the ceiling and the door corners. Inspection report. Obtain an official inspection report for the vehicle from an independent inspection firm or directly from a Toyota authorized service center. This report documents the vehicle's damage history, outlines the mechanical condition, strengthens your position in price negotiations, serves as evidence in potential legal disputes. Part 8. Test drive. The test drive is one of the most critical stages of buying a vehicle. Be sure to take a test drive and check the following points. Cold start. If possible, start the vehicle when it's cold, early in the morning. During a cold start, are the engine sounds normal? Does the hybrid system engage? Is the transition from EV mode to the gasoline engine smooth? City driving. Is EV mode working properly? Is there any shaking or deceleration during cruise control? Are the steering turns smooth? Are the gear shifts smooth? Acceleration test. During sudden acceleration between 50 to 80 kilometers per hour, are the engine and battery power delivery working in sync? Are there any unusual noises or vibrations? Does the vehicle accelerate smoothly? Braking test. Perform a sudden braking maneuver from 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Does the vehicle stay straight, or does it pull to the left or right? Does the ABS engage? You should feel a vibration, not a lockup. Is there pulsation in the brake pedal? Parking sensors and cameras. Pull into a tight space. Does the backup camera provide a clear image? Are the parking sensors providing alerts? Air conditioning and heating. Turn on the air conditioning and heating during the test drive. Check the warm-up time, airflow, and noise level. Part 9. Price negotiation and the purchasing process. Pricing. Make a note of any issues you find during the test drive and inspection. Research the estimated repair cost for each issue. Once you have this information, price negotiation becomes much easier. Factors that can lower the price: imbalance in battery cells, high mileage, over 150,000 kilometers, damage history, overdue maintenance/missing maintenance records, worn tires, maintenance history records. Ask the seller for past service invoices. A vehicle that has undergone regular maintenance is much more valuable than one without a maintenance history. Maintenance performed by an authorized dealer is the most reliable. What documents should you obtain? Original registration certificate, service maintenance receipts/invoices, inspection certificate with a valid date, mandatory traffic insurance, comprehensive insurance policy. Part 10. Long-term cost calculation. A common mistake made by those considering purchasing a Prius is focusing solely on the purchase price. Be sure to factor in long-term costs as well. If the battery is in poor condition, add this cost to the vehicle's purchase price to calculate the total cost. Engine oil and filters. The engine oil change interval for the Prius is typically 10,000 to 15,000 kilometers. The cost of oil and filters is similar to that of other vehicles. Tires. The Prius uses low rolling resistance tires. These tires are usually slightly more expensive than standard tires, but directly affect fuel efficiency. A Prius fitted with the wrong tires will have increased fuel consumption. Brake pads. Thanks to regenerative braking, brake pads wear down much more slowly in the Prius. The pads can still be in good condition even after 100,000 to 150,000 kilometers. This represents a significant cost advantage. Water pump, HV cooling system. The Prius features a separate electric water pump to cool the hybrid system. A failure of this pump can cause the HV system to overheat. Its average lifespan is 150,000 to 200,000 kilometers. Most common Prius issues. As with any vehicle, certain issues are more common in the Prius depending on the generation and mileage. Common issues for the third generation: ZVW30. Battery cell imbalances, especially at 150,000 kilometers plus. Clogged EGR valve, increased fuel consumption. Wear on rear wheel bearings. Front bumper lower diffuser breakage, low riding vehicle, pothole damage. Points to watch out for in the fourth generation, ZVW50. HVAC system, heating cooling. Software issues. Vibration during EV mode transitions in some production batches. Rear brake discs prone to rust due to infrequent use caused by regenerative braking. Applies to all generations. 12-volt auxiliary battery failure causes starting issues. Fuel injector contamination in vehicles with long-term LPG conversions. High voltage cable insulation damage in older vehicles. Where should I buy it? Authorized Toyota dealership. The most reliable option. The vehicle's history is documented, it has undergone a technical inspection, and a short-term warranty is typically offered. However, the price may be higher. Private seller. You may find a more affordable price, but the risk increases. Be sure to have an independent inspection performed. Online platforms. Well-known platforms are ideal for research. However, do not make a decision without seeing and test driving the vehicle. For vehicles in distant cities and states, be sure to look into the option of having an expert inspect it. That's it. I've covered all the critical points you need to consider when buying a used Toyota Prius as comprehensively as possible. To summarize, your top priority should be the health of the hybrid battery. Second, a comprehensive paint thickness measurement and damage check. Third, a test drive and OBD scan are a must. Fourth, documented maintenance history. And finally, a secure purchase through a notary. If you follow these steps, you can enjoy a trouble-free and economical Toyota Prius for many years to come. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. You can share your own Prius experiences and ask questions in the comments. See you in the next video. Take care.